Hello and welcome to Yoga Flow. Today we are going to be opening up our backs in this very industrial world of technology and all that jazz. We're very forward leaning, we're very looking down type of people. And so today we're going to be all about opening up, releasing all of that tension in our neck and our backs. So if you're ready for that type of a release, follow along on my yoga flow. It's gonna be all levels. Everyone can be able to do these poses. All right, let's get going. Set the mood real quick. All right, I want you all to meet me seated on your mat. Hands will come and rest on your legs. Eyes will close, slight tuck of the chin. We're gonna find a minute of meditation before we begin. Just let your thoughts focus on your breath. And release all of that stress from the week. We carry a lot of stress in our backs and our necks and our shoulders. Today, we're gonna get rid of that. Take some inhales. Hold the top. Exhale. In yoga, we breathe through our nose. It's called Ujjayi breath. This breath gives us power, it gives us energy, it gives us blood circulation, and we're going to need all of that to release our stress today. Go ahead and give your shoulders a couple of rocks, as I'm doing. Left one back, right one back, left one back, right one back, and leave your chin tucked and your eyes closed. And from here, we can bring our hands together, and from here on out, you can choose whether to keep your eyes open or closed. We're going to bring our hands above our head. Find a nice, good morning stretch. Grab our left wrist with our right palm or right fingers and tug slightly to the right. Opening up that left side spine, body and spine. All right, now come back to center. Exhale and open to the other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, let's plant our hands at the top of our mat. Coming to all fours into all fours. Cat and cow. How do I not know the name of this, man? Even yoga teachers make mistakes. Alright, so our spine's neutral here, right? Well, we're gonna inhale and drop our gaze, drop our stomachs, lift our gaze, curling our neck, opening up on that back part. You can feel it. You can feel it in your lower back. You can feel it in your spine right here. And then we're gonna exhale, curl that spine, drop your gaze, look through your stomach, and then we're gonna repeat those motions. So inhale, drop your stomach, lift your gaze. This is cow pose. Exhale, curl your spine, drop your gaze, cat. Now this is because the cat arches its back when it's scared, and I guess when a cow is scared, we can flow through cow. It looks like this, maybe it kicks its leg out, because that's what we're gonna do real quick. All right, come one more time on each. So exhale to cat, inhale to cow. All right, now from here, we're gonna exhale our right leg out long, and we're gonna just rock back and forth on that calf, on that heel, opening up, stretching that muscle. And then from here, we're gonna inhale and lift our left arm out in front of us. And then as we do so, we're also gonna lift our right leg. So it's left arm, right leg, and we're pulling against each other. So it's almost like someone's torturing you and pulling you in opposite directions, but in this case it's a good thing, because we got to pop that spine, we got to pop those those compressed vertebrae. So we're gonna just push. A couple more breaths here. Exhale, plant your hand, plant your foot. We're going to switch to the other side. So from here, extend your left leg long, rock a couple times, open up that muscle. Now inhale it, right arm high, out in front of you. Exhale that left leg behind you, pulling and reaching in opposite directions. Remembering to breathe. One more breath. Exhale, plant your hands. Give your head a couple rolls. One direction, and the other direction. Check out some of those muscles. Now we're going to step back into our first downward facing dog of the day. Oh, go ahead and roll out your feet, your ankles. Do some heel presses to the mat. They call it taking your dog for a walk. I don't really like that because you're just walking in place, but whatever you want to call it. All right, settle in here for a couple of breaths. All right. Now from here, inhale. Look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Still hanging in this forward fold. Inhale, put your hands on your shins. Raise up halfway. Exhale, refold all the way back down. You can hang here as long as you like. Or you can inhale all the way up. Hands coming together. Exhale, hands heart center. Now let's get into the flow. Inhale, back up. And then just like before, we're going to grab the opposite wrist and tug and to the other side. Now you should not be moving your hips here. This is purely a spinal stretch. So your hips should stay in place and your spine should be the one that's reaching. Inhale back through center. Other wrist. Exhale to the left or your right. Inhale back through center. Hands can come together again. You can inhale backwards for a back bend. And then exhale all the way forward, fold. I like to extend my forward folds for a couple of breaths because I think it feels good. And when you're ready, inhale back up halfway. Gaze out, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank pose. You should have a straight back here, like a y'all know planks. So hover over your wrists, shoulders stacked. You're gonna have a close stance here, so it's not like a typical push-up plank where you're far separated. You got a close stance. Now come forward over your wrists, and then exhale, slowly drop, keeping your elbows close to your sides. And then once you get to the mat, whether you're hovering or resting, you'll inhale and roll into cobra or upward facing dog. Cobra pose, knees are down. Upward facing dog, knees are lifted. This is gonna be your biggest spine opener and stretch in this entire yoga flow, so take advantage of it. The closer your hands are to your body, the deeper the stretches in your lower back. The farther away they are, not as intense. You're in control of how intense you want this pose to be. I like flexing some of my glute muscles here to kind of get more release. All right, once we're done with this pose, we're gonna exhale, hit high back to downward facing dog. Ooh, no, that felt good. Don't lie, guys, that felt good. All right, one more breath here, and then we're gonna flow through that all again. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Hanging in that forward fold.
You can bring your hands to your elbows, shake to get yourself a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. I feel this in my low spine. How about y'all? Inhale, rising all the way back up. Hands come above the head. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, back up. Grabbing that left wrist, pulling it over to the other side. Inhale, back through center. Other wrist, switch. Through center. Slide back bend. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Gaze out. Exhale, plant your hands. Come back to plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, flow through. Inhale, back up to your cobra or upward facing dog in my case. Exhale, downward facing dog. How are y'all feeling? We're gonna go through that flow one more time, and then I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Just hang here for a minute. Let that low back release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come all the way back up. Hands above the head. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, back up. Grab your wrist. Over to one side. Exhale. Inhale through center. Exhale the other side. Through center. Slide back bend. Ooh, you heard that. See, we're doing it right. And this time, we're gonna exhale into a chair pose, swinging our hands high as we sit back. So you're not gonna be sitting back like this. You know, you wanna keep some activation in your thighs. So you should feel in your thighs here. You can almost see your toes over your knees. So if you don't see your toes, you need to sit back a little bit. Couple more breaths. Actually, while we're here, let's make it fun. Let's bring our hands together and let's exhale to the outside of our right knee, catching with our elbow, gaze going up. Oh, I can feel this. This is a nice stretch. Couple breaths here. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the outside of your right or your left knee with your right elbow. Inhale through center. Come back to our chair. Exhale, hands heart center. Let's exhale, fold, or inhale here. Exhale, fold. Swinging your legs here. Swinging your upper body, getting some release. Inhale, halfway lift. Gaze out. Exhale, plant your hands. Flow through your vinyasa. That's what this transition's called. With your plank and your push up and then your inhale. Oh, that was good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now from downward facing dog, we're gonna inhale that right leg high. We're gonna exhale and step it through between our hands at the top of our mat. Our back heel's gonna spin down as we inhale, rise to warrior one. So you're facing the front of the mat, your hips are square, which means they're parallel with your mat. If you're opening like this, that's almost into warrior two, so we're still warrior one. And then your back heel should be at 45 degrees,
So your toes are facing the side of your mat, but like not this side, the direction, an angle, 45 degrees. All right, from here, let's exhale open to the long side of our mat. Now you can switch your foot a little bit, opening up your hips, gaze to your front middle finger, hands go long, pulling away from your body. Shoulders will drop a little bit. You can get deeper into this pose by extending your front leg out a little bit. Breathe here. All right, last exhale. Inhale, flip that front palm up, drop it back as you bring your left arm behind your body. That can rest behind the small of your back or on your back leg for reverse warrior. Pulling and reaching with that front arm as your left one, that back arm is dropping. Inhale back through center, cartwheeling our hands to the top of the mat, framing our foot as we step back, that plank pose. Flow through our vinyasa so we can get to the other side. Ooh. All right, once we're here, take a breath. Exhale. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step it through between your hands, same cues as before. Spin the back heel down. Inhale, rise, square your hips to the front. Warrior one. Exhale to the long side of your mat. Warrior two. Inhale that left arm high as the right one drops behind you, coming to the small of your back or your leg. Exhale, framing your foot. We're going to step back to that plank pose. Flow through. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale your downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna go through that same transition again. So inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, hanging in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, come into chair. This time we're gonna do something a little fun. Right arm across the body. Left arm on top of the right. Wrap your hands around so their wrists are touching, or your palms are touching. If you can't get here, back your wrist works too. This is eagle arms. So we're gonna sink low, and then we're gonna lift our arms up so you can feel this in your shoulder blades. Or not your shoulder blades, it's shoulder joint. The farther you pull up, the more you should feel it. Remembering to keep our legs activated here. Couple of breaths. For an even deeper stretch, we can exhale to the right like we did last time. Look, gazing up. I don't think this is quite as beneficial as it was, but you know, why not? Okay, let's go. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, release. Actually, let's go find that eagle arms again. So find how you did. We'll take a little inhale, back bend. Inhale. Oh, okay, then you can release. Exhale, plant your hands. Flow through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Right leg goes high. Exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down. Inhale, rise. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale to the long side of your mat. Warrior two. Sink low, drop your shoulders. Inhale your right arm high as the left arm goes back. Reverse warrior. Oh, that one feels nice. Exhale, spin your hands down to the top of your mat.
Step that right leg back. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. Inhale through your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale here. Left leg goes high. Exhale, step through. Spin that right heel down. Inhale to warrior one. Inhale here. Exhale to the long side of your mat. Warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale. Drop further into your reverse warrior. It's okay if you shake. It's just yoga. Woo! Look at that. Closing your eyes adds another balance challenge. Exhale, spin your hands down to top of the mat. Step back to your plank pose. Exhale, flow through. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale to your downward facing dog. All right, we got one more flow through on this side before we get or on this yoga flow before we get to some nice cool down stretches. So from here, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, gaze forward. Step between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hand. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming back to that chair pose. This time we're going to do the other side of eagle arms. So left arm crosses, right arm on top. It's okay if they're different. It's okay if it's not pretty either. This is very much a shoulder opener. Sinking into that chair pose. A couple of breaths. Since we did it on the other side, we'll do it on this side. Exhale to the outside of that left leg. Gaze to the left. Inhale here. Exhale to the outside of that right leg. Gaze up. Inhale through center. Back into that chair pose. Inhale, come to stand. Finding a slight back bend. Or a big back bend. Exhale, open your arms up. Flowing to forward fold. Finding your elbows or just the ground and drawing some circles, semicircles. Lower back release. Inhale. Halfway lift. Gaze down, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Once we're here, pay attention. This side is going to be this version is going to be a little different. So inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it through to high lunge, lifting your back heel, squaring your hips to the front of the mat. Yeah, a little more activation here. Make sure not to bring your elbows to your shoulders to your ears. Drop them. Let them be loose as your arms are going high. We're still going to open up to the side to a warrior two. That's when your back heel would spin down. Finding a deep stretch here. From here, pay attention. Inhale. That front knee is going to straighten, front leg. Your hands are going to stay to a T. And you're going to rock your left hip back as you lean forward with your right hand coming down to a triangle. So your hands are going to come to the inside of your right leg as your left arm goes high. Gaze will follow the left arm. How y'all doing on your breath? We want to make sure we're still opening our body and our chest up. Because remember, this flow is about chest openers. All right, one more breath here. Inhale back through center. We're gonna grab that right wrist, pull it back, reverse triangle. If you want to go into reverse warrior, you can as well. Whichever one you like. Both are available. If you go into reverse warrior, just bend your front knee. Bring your left arm back. All right, inhale back through center. Exhale, plant your hand at the top of your mat. Step back to your plank. Flow through your vinyasa. Meeting in our downward facing dog. All right, other side. So strong, yogis. You are doing so well. Inhale that left leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise. Making sure to keep that back heel lifted for our lunge. You can flex your back thigh if you need a little extra motivation to keep it lifted. Remembering our same cues as before. Shoulders do not come to the ears. Close your eyes for an extra challenge. All right, from here, inhale. Exhale, spin to the open long side of your mat. Back heel is going to go down. Reach out with both of your hands in opposite directions. Pulling away from your centered body. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Rock your hip back. As you exhale, reach out over your left leg. Wrist coming down to your ankle. Right arm going high. Gaze to follow. One long line of energy here, yogis. One long line of energy. Losing my balance again. One more breath here. Exhale. Inhale. Coming to your reverse warrior. Pulling back on your left wrist. A reverse triangle. If you want reverse warrior, you can fall into that as well. Inhale back through center. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the top of the mat. Stepping back to your plank. Exhale, flowing through your vinyasa. Ooh. Felt that one. Coming back to your downward facing dog. Don't worry. You're gonna get a juicy rest here. So everybody, once you're in a downward facing dog, bring your knees to the mat. Your hands are in front of you. Coming down to your child's pose, taking a moment here. Good work, yogis. You deserve this rest. You sweating? Because I'm sweating. Our breath increases our body temperature when we breathe through our nose, which is one reason why I stress yoga breathing. Because you'll get more of a muscle release, because how it works. Heat helps you release your muscles. So if you exclusively breathe through your nose during practice, your muscles are going to increase their body temperature, which will therefore help you get deeper into the yoga poses. So if you can't work on anything else, work on your breath. A couple more moments of child pose. If you want even deeper stretch here, you can come forward with your chest for puppy. Put it into the mat. And everybody, let's meet on our heels, top of the mat. And because I can, I'm going to throw in an extra fun pose. This doesn't have to do with our spine here, but it does have to do with a very neglected part of the body. So from here, come put your weight on your hands, tuck your toes behind yourself, and then slowly sit back onto your toes. So your toes are still tucked here. Yeah, it's going to feel a little uncomfortable at first, and then it's going to feel very uncomfortable, and then you're going to wonder if you're breaking your toes. But as long as you're being gentle, you're not slamming your weight down, your toes will be okay. I'm not going to keep you here forever, but we do need to release some of that tension in our toes.
breathe into the discomfort, breathe into the pain. Yes, this is a pose. It's called Screaming Toes Pose. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, exhale. All right, inhale. Come forward slowly and gently. Release your toes. Just tap them gently on the mat. Bring some blood flow back into them. And no, we're not done yet. We're gonna go right back into it. So tuck your toes again. Exhale back onto your heels. This time your toes are ready for it. Hopefully. This is a good time to... Oh. Oh, come on, man. Ah, that was painful. A good time to wipe yourself off with your towel. Get a drink of water. But do not release your toes. Do not release your toes. They'll thank you later when you have flexibility at 65. They'll thank you later. Couple more breaths here. All right, inhale. Come off of those toes. Oh, weight into your hands. This doesn't feel any better for me either. From here, let's extend both of our legs long. Actually, you know what? We did work our glutes a lot today, so we need to do a pigeon pose as well. So come back to downward facing dog. Bringing your right knee to your right elbow, sliding it down to touch your wrist as your right ankle comes right under your left forearm or elbow as well. You can release your back toe. And from here, we're just gonna slowly make our way down to the mat. If you're making your way down to the mat and your right heel lifts up, come back up. The whole point here is your right hip bone. If your glute and your right hip bone come off the ground, come back up. But if you can fold over and keep them on the ground, then that's the better version of the pose because you're gonna need to stretch forward more deeply. Hands can come as such. Going down to the sides. Just taking a moment to release here. Remembering that even in this slow part of practice, we should still be breathing. A couple more breaths. Inhale back through center. Step in your right leg back. Come into downward facing dog again. To exhale our left leg to that same position. It's okay if it's tighter on this side than the other side. Our body is not symmetrical. Bringing that left hip down and slowly pulling your way into your pigeon pose. A lot of people think yoga is exclusively this part of the practice. A lot of people neglect the whole blood pumping part that yoga can be. So I hope that you were able to earn some appreciation for the exercise you can gain through yoga. Yes, it is all stretching in a manner of speaking, but some of it is very intense stretching.
If you breathe correctly, you can gain just as much of a workout from yoga as you can from other aerobic sports. Couple more breaths here. Inhale back through center. This time, let's gonna swing both of our legs around. Coming to a seated forward fold position. Inhale our arms high. Exhale, forward fold, reaching for the toes. Since we are focusing on spine today, let that be the bigger part that you're stretching. Normally, this pose is for your hamstrings, and you want to keep your back straight and fold your hips. But I'll let you guys curl your spine or pull your spine forward, whatever you need to do to feel that stretch in your spine today. Ideally, you should be able to do both. Couple more breaths. Alright, release that pose. Inhale your right foot next to your left thigh, and then cross it. And then from here, inhale your left arm high, cross it on the outside of your right leg. Inhale your right arm high, comes behind you, and you twist. Final twist, and you probably will hear some cracks like me. If you need to get into this pose deeper, you can thread your arm under your right thigh and reach around and grab your left arm with your right, or your left wrist with your right wrist. But if this is too intense for you or you're unable to reach this position, just keep your right leg out, your right arm behind you, pushing yourself deeper. Each inhale draws you up, each exhale deepens the twist. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, come back through center. Release your leg. Switch sides. Left leg's gonna come cross over. Right leg's gonna go high. Cross on the outside of the elbow, or the outside of the knee. Left leg, arm will go behind you. And you will twist back into the pose. Oh, this one always gets me. Again, if you need a deep version of the pose, you can always do as I do and reach behind you. Remembering to breathe here, yogis. At no point do we stop breathing in yoga practice. Inhale draws you up. Exhale pushes you deeper. Couple more breaths. Inhale, release. All right, we're almost to Shavasana, almost to our resting pose, but we got a couple more stops. I'm gonna flip around for y'all. We're gonna do another spinal twist, this time on our backs. So bring your right leg and knee into touch in your chest. Give yourself a couple of circles. And then from here, slowly fold over your side body so that your knee will be reaching for the floor next to you. Your right arm's gonna come to a 90 degree, making this corner. Your left leg arm is gonna come push down on your right leg. Keeping careful not to pop your right shoulder blade off the mat. If you do, bring your right knee up a little bit. The most important part is keeping your right shoulder blade connected. A couple more breaths here, yogis. Inhale back through center. Oh, switching sides. Inhale your left knee into chest. Give it a couple of circles. Nice little hug maybe. And then exhale over to the other side. Same cues as before. Making sure to keep your left shoulder blade touching the ground on the other side. Inhale here. Back through center. Exhale, release your arms, your legs. One more stop before we get to Shavasana. We're gonna bring our bottoms of our feet together for this reclined butterfly pose. So come in close to your glutes. Hands gonna come to your knees, and then you're slowly just gonna exhale into this pose deeper as your knees drop, like gravity move in. Slowly releasing. I love this pose. So low stress. Alright. Slowly extend your legs long. Coming to the corners of your mat. If you want to make one more stop before we get to Shavasana, you could just lift your hips up real quick for a nice bridge pose. Get some release in your lower spine. And then exhale back down. I promise we're going to get to Shavasana. Here we go. So, for those of you who don't know, Shavasana is the final resting pose, sometimes referred to as corpse pose, because it is as if you were dying. Because you're surrendering to the yoga practice. I'm going to turn off the music so we can get to a truly restful pose here. Your hands are going to come face up next to your thighs. Tucking your shoulders under. Let them drop from your ears. Tongues are going to rest on the roof of your mouth, activating that vagus nerve. Breath is going to slow. Eyes are going to close. And you're going to be here. Be here. Be here. Surrender. Beginning to find feeling in your fingers, wiggle your toes. eyes closed. Eventually rolling to one side. Left side if you need more calm and grounding. Right side if you need more energy. Eventually making your way seated to the top of your mat. And you'll come resting on your knees. We're going to take one more community breath together. Inhale your hands heart center. Exhale here. And one big inhale, filling your chest, filling your lungs, the bottom of your lungs, all the way into your stomach with air. So inhale. Hold at the top. And when I say exhale, release out your mouth like a sigh. Exhale. Thank you for coming to my yoga practice today, yogi friends. I hope you were able to find that release that you were looking for. Remember, yoga is always there for you. From my heart to yours, Namaste. For those of you who don't know, Namaste can mean a lot of things, but to me, it means the light within me honors, recognizes, and is graced by the same light in each and every one of you. And I think that's just beautiful. Because everybody has light. It's our job to recognize it. I'm going to leave it right here, yogi friends. Take care. Double namaste.